Good evening, everybody. Meteorologist Mike Slifer here in the First Alert Forecast Center. We are getting ready to talk about the return of some heat and some humidity. Dew points out there in the 40s, very dry air in place. But as we progress through the week, we get progressively muggier, becoming humid by Thursday and Friday. And not only will we see the humidity climb, but we also see temperatures climb too. Here's a snapshot of Thursday, 2 p.m. We're talking temperatures in the upper 80s and lower 90s away from Long Island Sound. The onshore wind direction will keep shoreline temperatures just a bit lower, but either way, we're anticipating a very warm day, the warmest, in fact, we've seen so far this year. And the combination of all of this warmth and humidity on Thursday prompts a first alert weather day. Not just because it's the first 90-degree day of the year, and we've been close so far. We did hit 89 in April, but also because the combination of heat and humidity could cause heat index values to be a bit higher, which could result in perhaps some issues when it comes to heat-related illness. So you'll certainly have to take it easy out there, seek out shade, take breaks, things like that. Here's our ICAM view right now in Middletown. Earlier today, we were looking downstream on the Connecticut River. Pretty quiet out there, and we'll take you live to our ICAM view in New Haven right now. It's 64 degrees, winds out of the southwest at 9 miles per hour. We have seen a little bit of cloud cover here over the last several hours. Our ICAM view in Old Saybrook also showing, we can actually pick out see those flashing lights in the distance, so great visibility out there. Earlier, we were looking at the flags that were outstretched here in Old Saybrook. Not the case anymore as the wind speeds have really calmed down a bit. And a quiet night on our ICAM in Torrington, and we'll finish with our ICAM view in Hartford here. We can actually see the clouds a little more clearly here. Temps falling through the 60s and 50s tonight, bottoming out 45 to 50 degrees. Inland tonight, we'll be in the lower half of the 50s along the shoreline. So we still have a little bit of cloud cover out there, which is preventing temperatures from really free falling. Wind speeds are down a bit too. And as winds continue to calm down, in combination with mostly clear skies, we do expect temperatures to fall a little more quickly later on this evening. Temperatures tomorrow will start off with a very rapid climb into the upper 50s and lower 60s. That's as soon as 8 in the morning. We're talking low to mid 70s by noon, ending the day in the lower 80s and mid and upper 70s along the shoreline. If you like a little bit of a warmer day, really great weather on the way tomorrow. What we will have to watch for later in the day is the return of a bit of wildfire smoke. Here's 4 p.m. on First Alert Futurecast. Pretty thin, and it's favoring parts of western Connecticut. Building in a bit more later tomorrow, but it's especially Wednesday when we'll see that smoke make its way in. Wind will be out of the south and southwest Wednesday, helping to transport some of that into Connecticut. Thankfully, we don't really see any big issues when it comes to air quality. Moderate air quality is forecast. That's what those yellow dots mean. So even sensitive groups should be all right tomorrow. And then as high pressure moves offshore, that's what's going to shift our wind to be out of the southwest. You'll note that high is also fairly slow moving. And that's what's going to keep the front off to our west throughout Wednesday and perhaps even into Thursday too. So it just allows that warmer, more humid air to keep getting pumped into Connecticut and New England, pushing those temperatures up. It also means, with dry weather in the forecast, we will see pollen counts climbing. Moderate to high tomorrow, Wednesday, even higher by Thursday. Oak, mulberry, and maple are the big ones, so tree pollens are the ones to watch. Tonight, 45 to 50, lower 50s along the shoreline. If you like sleeping with the windows open, letting some fresh air in, this is probably the last night that you'll get to do that for some time, so soak it in. Mostly clear skies, pretty comfortable out there. Tomorrow, we're forecasting high temperatures in the upper 70s and lower 80s inland. We'll likely see mid and upper 70s along the shoreline. So a bit of a smoky haze develops. That could make for a dramatic sunset tomorrow evening and a dramatic sunrise on Wednesday. We're hazy, we're muggier Wednesday and warmer, 88 for the high Wednesday. Thursday, our first alert weather day, hot and humid. Perhaps an isolated storm develops in the afternoon. We're going 92 degrees. With the humidity, could feel even a bit hotter than that. Overnight, Thursday into Friday, upper 60s and then 85 degrees for the high on Friday, humid with the risk of some isolated storms. Saturday, unfortunately, looking like the wettest day of the next 7. Showers are expected with the chance for some thunderstorms depending on the timing of the front. And then Sunday, we're trending brighter, highs in the upper 70s, back to near 80 by Monday. Shoreline highs will be in the 70s, climbing to the 80s by Thursday, dropping back down into the 70s throughout the course of the weekend and into the start of next week. When it comes to Saturday, models are a bit of a difference in the timing here. The American model is a little bit drier than the European model here at 7 a.m., and that's the story for noon too. But the takeaway here is that showers become possible, if not likely, on Saturday. the European model consistently wetter than the American. We still have plenty of time, of course, to iron out the details here, so we expect to see some differences at this point in time, this lead time in the forecast. But either way, Saturday looking like it's going to be fairly wet, which is a trend that we've seen a lot as of late. In order to find our last entirely dry weekend, you have to go all the way back to the end of February. Now, May went down as the third wettest May on record for the Hartford area. Records go back to 1905, 8.23 inches, 4.44 inches above the normal of 3.79 inches of rain. That is good for third place, beating out 1998, 7.84 inches, but falling shy of 1984's 11.55. As we mentioned, we were pretty confident we'd end up in the top 5, but we thought places 1 and 2 were safe, and they certainly were. It's pretty impressive how large of a margin we still have between third and second place. When it comes to May as a whole, the average temperatures, so this is all the high temperatures, all the low temperatures, added up, divided by 2, divided by 31. 60.5 degrees. And even though daytime highs were actually running a bit below average, some milder nights mixed in really kept the monthly average temperature high, so we ended up half a degree above normal. So in other words, another warmer than average month, and certainly a wetter than average month. As we get into the month of June here, as a reminder, our average high on June 1st, yesterday, 76, average low is 53, and we gain 8 degrees in our average high and 9 degrees in our average low as the month goes on. By June 30th, 84 is the average high, 62 is the average low. It is worth mentioning that we tend to see just over 4.25 inches of rainfall in the month of June, so we'll see where everything settles out. Of course, we still have plenty of time left, 4 weeks to go in the month, but as it stands, these are the averages for the start and end of June. On the 8 to 14 day outlook, so this is June 10th through the 16th, we see these shades of orange indicating perhaps that things will end up a little bit warmer than average. And while this doesn't tell us the magnitude, it does tell us that it's at least slightly likely that things will be warmer than average. What we don't see a clear signal for is rainfall events. In fact, we have equal chances of being drier or wetter than average. Areas to our west are perhaps a little more likely to be wetter than average. So we'll be watching this very closely. Maybe we will finally break the spell of wet Saturdays that we have been dealing with as of late. Notable sunsets by June 20th, the summer solstice, we go to 8:30. That's only 9 minutes later than where we are right now. Sunrise goes to 5:15, only 2 minutes earlier than right now. So, 3 minutes earlier. So we really don't have that much more daylight to gain this month. And then, as we have to point out, unfortunately, we do eventually reverse the trend once we get past the summer solstice and slowly start to lose daylight. But it takes a lot of time to really notice that add up. So we have plenty of long days to look forward to. And if you like summer heat, there's plenty of that to look forward to as well, with temps back in the upper 80s Wednesday, low 90s Thursday, mid 80s on Friday. Inland along the shoreline, 79 Wednesday, 84 Thursday, 79 on Friday. Saturday looking a bit wetter. Sunday, a bit of an offshore wind pushing temperatures statewide into the mid and upper 70s and turning a bit brighter, 75 to 80 degrees by next Monday. That's our latest First Alert Weather Extra. We will have much more for you coming up on the Wax in 20 minutes at 10 o'clock. You can join Chief Meteorologist Mark Dixon on Channel 3 at 11, and our next First Alert Weather Extra will be tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. Have a great night, everybody, and we hope you'll join us over on the Wax in 20 minutes.